The suits sit high while the streets sink low, counting gold in the towers, letting fires grow. I hear whispers in alleys, truths they don't show. It's all smoke, no mirrors, just a puppet show.
They sign the papers, inked with lies, while we're left with broken skies. They take the bread and leave us the crust in this machine. Who can we trust? Shadows in the Capitol, the power's all a game. They point their fingers, but we know who's to blame. Whispers in the corridors, screaming through the shade. Shadows in the Capitol, nothing feels the same.
Now the ballots feel like broken dice. They play their games, we pay the price. Promises painted in black and white, but they vanish like thieves in the dead of night.
Lies written with invisible ink, pouring poison in the water we drink. They build their walls, we feel the squeeze. Freedom's just a word on a broken marquee. Shadows in the Capitol, the power's all a game. They point their fingers, but we know who's to blame. Whispers in the corridors, screaming through the shade. Shadows in the Capitol, nothing feels the same.
Where do we go when the truth's been sold?
When the streets run cold and the lies get old.
Where do we go when the truth's been sold?
When the streets run cold and the lies get old.
Where do we go when the truth's been sold?
When the streets run cold and the lies get old.
Shadows in the Capitol, the power's all a game. They point their fingers, but we know who's to blame. Whispers in the corridors, screaming through the shade. Shadows in the Capitol, nothing feels the same.
Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. How's it going, everybody? I stayed up very late looking for news for everybody because I wanted to talk about news that wasn't fake and gay with my good buddy, Joey Cannoli. Joey Cannoli is joining us today. Hello. How's it going, Joey?
I'm great, and I totally unmuted at the last second, like a real professional.
We're both professionals today, as you can see. Look at that. Everything's on point today. I have everything laid out perfectly. Nothing could ever go wrong at any point.
I know you showed me that song like months ago, but I'm just realizing how catchy it is.
I love that song. That song's amazing. I didn't write that one, unfortunately. That one was used. I used a prompt for that one, but that's definitely one of my favorite ones.
Wow,
Wow. I like your joke yesterday. I played my outro song and you're like, "Oh man, Tyler has such a good singing voice." I was like, "I know, I'm so great. Thank you."
just gonna pretend it's all you.
Yeah. It is all me. What do you mean? It is is it me, Joey, or is it not me? Because I did write all the words. Like I'm like the ghostwriter for all these famous writers, right? All these famous singers. I mean, how many of these famous singers don't actually write their own songs?
He's written all the words for Taylor Swift.
I did. You know, it could be worse. I could be Katy Perry dating Justin Trudeau.
Oh God! Imagine lowering yourself so low.
While I was looking for news yesterday, I saw, I believe it was on the New York Post, that they confirmed that they are dating. Yeah, I was just like, oh no, what, Katy Perry? Why would you date a communist? Like what?
Just one communist. Fuck.
One communist finds another.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not gonna bring it up since it seems like it's off. Never mind.
What?
Anyway, nothing.
I already brought your audio up.
Okay. Well, I'm so glad you can bring us up instead of lowering us down to the same level.
A rising tide raises all boats, as I've been told. So I've been told. We got a bunch of people in the chat today. I see Fishy, Tactical Tinkerer, got Missy in the chat. Sick of Shitty Gov as always. Commies aren't people. Well, that is true. What's your stance on that, Joey? Are commies people?
I mean, that's an interesting one because once this is back to the thing that everyone shit on Nora about with the studying bad people's brains. Like once you admit that someone's not a person based off their ideological belief, then there's amazing things that you can do to them.
Yeah, well, once you strip someone of their humanity, there's a lot of different things that people would be willing to do. I mean, look at what we do to animals, you know, like.
Yeah, especially the way the people on the right like to conflate socialism and communism as the same thing when they're not.
Yeah.
So that can get into dangerous territory, because then it's like, all right, well, now we can, do X and Y and Z to the socialists. And then it's like, well, what about any government program that we have? Well, now we can do that to them too. So anytime you give anybody an inch,
It's actually interesting you say that, because it's kind of like the people on the left, they overly use the word Nazi to dehumanize the people that they disagree with. And I feel like the right has kind of done that in a way too with communism. They're like, oh, you're just a communist, and they dehumanize you in that way.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do. In fact, I'm so glad you brought that up. It's been one of my talking points for the last month or so, is that get over here, bro. Is that's something the right does. When I talked about the isms, they do their own form of identity politics.
Mm. Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting. And I mean, just look at and it's not even just the communist stuff either, because like, look at what they've done to Nick Fuentes, right? You've had people like Tucker Carlson interview him. Steven Crowder recently interviewed him. I think the interview he did with Steven Crowder was really good. I need to watch the one that he did with Piers Morgan. But it's just interesting. People are, crapping on him for things that he didn't actually say. But it's gotten to the point where it's like, it doesn't matter if he said it or not. Everyone says that he said it.
This is a topic that might get you in trouble on YouTube, so I'm going to be very careful with what I say. But I've wondered for a long time about Nick, because he will say things that make you think, and then he doesn't really back it up with the things that he should be backing it up with. He instead then pivots to trolling. So I've wondered for a long time, is he some sort of, maybe not federal operative, but being used by the feds? And this is a theory me and my brother thought up about Alex Jones in like 2011. We're like, I don't think Jones is a Fed, and I obviously don't think he is a Fed now based off the past 10 years. But they absolutely decide, if we're going to have someone be the ringleader of this movement, we would rather it be this person. We would rather it be this person. So we would rather have Alex Jones screaming to the high hells about how they're turning the freaking frogs gay, so people just laugh at him. And then when it comes to Nick, it's like he's clearly engaging in that Gen Z trollish nature where he can't seem to ever be serious half the time. So
a lot of edgy comments too.
Yes, it basically, and he went on Piers Morgan and basically just said, he called Piers the N-word. So, when people,
to be fair, Steven Crowder told him to. Steven Crowder actually challenged him, because he's like, hey, you're going on Piers Morgan censored, not uncensored. And he's like, the reason it's not uncensored is because he egged me on to say the N-word, and I did multiple times. And if you look at the interview Steven Crowder did with Piers Morgan, he actually cut that out of the interview. He's like, I don't know why he cut it. He told me to say it.
But my point is that Nick, I feel like he will say things that make people go, but he doesn't really lead them down the path as to why it should make them go, It just makes people angry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that seems like some sort of either Fed agitator or some sort of thing that feds would take advantage of, so he could be the ringleader of a movement that, as you know, we should be asking questions about.
Well, I don't know. The accusations of calling people a Fed have been interesting as of late. I mean, for example, Tim Pool called Candace Owens a Fed.
Yeah.
What was it,
you
yesterday?
See the title of his noon show today? So fucking rich.
Oh, no. What was it?
Candace Owens is a spiritual leftist at heart or some shit. And
I did see that. I did see that one.
I was like, hello? So are you?
Right. And he knows that he is, because he openly talks about it. But anyway, that's besides the point, because I don't know.
We don't punch down. We don't punch down here at TTN.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Tim lately. I know, as a lot of people have pointed out, he just isn't doing news. Candace Owens isn't news, and giving her a spotlight for her crazy ideas doesn't help anybody. I know a lot of people, some people that watch you and me agree with what Candace has been saying, but she doesn't have any receipts to back any of this up. The things that people have said, people were saying that the White House confirmed the France assassination plot. That didn't happen. That's all fake. Everything she's said in the past 2 months has been fake news. So giving her a spotlight is just spotlighting fake news and amplifying it.
For Tim to be upset with her, though, it's like, certain. It would be like if you're like a cooking channel and you decided to look at the NBA's numbers and go, God damn it, the NBA, how do I catch them?
Yeah.
You know, Tim's supposed to be a news program discussing the news, discussing the philosophy behind the news, et cetera, et cetera. And she is doing more so of that speculative entertainment stuff that Alex Jones kind of does. You know what I mean? So where it's like his show is like a crossover of potential speculating of ideas and what could be, and just asking questions out loud. And it's more of a entertainment vein, like Alex Jones. And Tim is supposed to be the, all right, this is what we know stuff. That's why Tim would never bring up the Crimeas when Alex Jones went on a show a couple of years ago. And he's like, they're combining pigs and spiders in China. And then Tim's like, oh, that's not true. And then they look it up and they're like, oh, that is true. But that's the type of stuff that like Jones will talk about. And I guess in some ways she is in sort of that same circle of combining
it's different
entertainment
content.
with
It's
some
different
sort of news, current day entertainment. It's more like a soap opera like sort of thing.
Do you think that Tim is only talking about her because he's like jealous of the numbers she's getting?
It's hard not to think that in some way, because
He's been on it for like a week.
6 days now.
Well, I mean, his property allegedly got shot up, and he's still talking about Candace Owens and not the violence in this country. Like,
yeah, and he said some stuff last night, which I don't. You remember what I said months ago when I said I felt like he was jealous of what happened to a certain individual.
Yep.
And he just kept sulking and making it about himself. Like, ever since then, it just feels like he's been kind of crashing out. But I think there's a level of he wants. I don't think he wants to be assassinated, obviously, but I think he wants there to be some sort of threat so people take him seriously when he says, I can't go here for security reasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wants something legitimate to happen. Or maybe he's looking for an out. Maybe he wants some sort of thing to happen so he can have a legit excuse to get out without looking like he's but no matter what he does, it's going to look like he's fleeing with his tail between his legs.
I mean, this is technically news, even though it is a little bit of drama. He allegedly, or not allegedly, he is saying that he's going to end the show on December 19th. He said that it could be the last Timcast IRL. So I don't know. Maybe it is his out.
We've heard that many times, though. We have.
We have. And as you pointed out, because we talked about this a bit in on Discord, this could just be that he's trying to get traction going into the holidays when they go for their holiday break.
Yeah, he'll come back with some sort of like rah-rah mission statement speech come January 4th or something. That's probably what will happen. Just like, I mean, he did the same thing. Remember last year where he kind of flipped the wig and then he said he had a major announcement when they came back from break, and it was, you can franchise this coffee shop, which is never going to open. So I don't know, bro. He's probably just going to change the name. He should probably, dude, I don't know what he should do. It doesn't really matter. If he makes enough money doing his early segments, he should just do that then. It's not like
he brags
anything
about it all the time.
Yeah, he brags about it incessantly. So it's not like if IRL's losing money, then just stop doing it, bro. Maybe I'll just start doing nightcap at 8 p.m.
Right. I just wonder how awkward that's got to be. You're sitting at a table with your boss, and like your job is to be a personality on a show, and your boss is sitting there telling you basically that he doesn't need you. I make enough money from these other shows already. I could just end this and not do it anymore. Like I wonder how that's got to make them feel, you know?
I do think that Tim is very upset about not being invited to AmFest. And I mean, he didn't go to Charlie Kirk's funeral over some, whatever you feel about the reasons. I mean, you had Jack Posobiec there with his 2 young kids. Yeah, Donald Trump and JD Vance were there. You might not have found a more secure location than that fucking arena right there.
I think they didn't invite him because of that, personally.
I think that's exactly why he wasn't invited. He was making it all about him. You know, he was acting like a fucking woe it's me, and it's just like, dude, come on, man. Everybody who was anybody was there. Sports fucking players are there. You had the president and the vice president. You had all these people there, and you're talking about I can't go because of credible security threats.
And if something did happen, just imagine how much he would have milked it. He's like, "This is exactly why I didn't go," you know, and it would have been ridiculous. That's why that's extra. This is especially why I'm happy that nothing happened, because Tim doesn't get to milk off it.
Yeah, but like he'll talk about like, oh, I got a family now, and like Jack Posobiec's there with like 2 toddlers and shit, and it's just like,
Charlie Kirk had a family.
yeah, Charlie Kirk had a family. Erica Kirk was there.
Stephen Crowder has a family. He went out with, you know, he went out in full force, like a full security team,
twins.
bulletproof plexiglass on either side of him.
His ex-wife.
Yeah, Stephen Crowder. I love Stephen Crowder so much. He started doing Change My Mind again after all this, because he stopped doing it, especially specifically because of threats like Charlie Kirk was facing. And after, in the wake of Charlie Kirk, he decided, no, I need to do it again. So Stephen Crowder's amazing, like polar opposite. It actually is polar opposite, because when you think about it, Tim, instead of forwarding the line, he decides to fall back. And then Stephen Crowder, instead of falling back, he decides to forward the line again.
I don't want to like sound like I'm shitting on Tim Pool, because we spent much effort and time in that community to do stuff. So it's just like, but Tim got over for his reporting. He got over for his boots on the ground stuff. He got over for going to the source of something and figuring out what the truth was. And then he got so over to the point where he can get people on to talk about these things. And now it's like, it's not the same. I wonder if he should go back to doing what he was doing before, but he's not going to do that, obviously, because he won't even go to Charlie Kirk's funeral.
Well, he says he can't do it because he has too much notoriety.
Oh, come on, man. This is like fucking Andy No does this shit all the time. Like he constantly getting his ass beat up just to find the truth. I mean, come on, man.
I mean, as I've told people, and especially in the wake of me getting removed from the Discord, I have nothing against Tim. All my criticisms of him are just things that I feel like he could do better, because I've watched him for so long. I've watched him since like 2017, 2018. And I after seeing the show for so long, I could see the faults in the show, and that's why I criticize him. But anyway, but we do have some stories we could talk about. We don't have to talk about Tim the whole show. I'm sure we could do a whole nightcap about that, but
we could.
we could. So it was actually really hard to find stories last night. I don't know what it is with the news lately. There just isn't. Like people,
I think the news is burnt out on the news.
I think the news. No, honestly, I think the news is burnt out on the news. Like there's just not as much happening. So as always, I tried to find stories where we could kind of branch off and talk about a wider point. So I did try to do that today, of course. And we'll get into that. So the first story that I have up, we have this from the Post Millennial. DC squatter takes over woman's property after refusing to check out of an Airbnb, and the police let them stay. So this is a quote from her. She said, "I never gave her any tenancy." This is Roshan Douglas. "I never gave her a lease." A homeowner in Washington, D.C. is now fighting to have her home back after a squatter took over the property she rented as an Airbnb for 32 days, but has yet to leave after months. The alleged squatter, Shadija Romero, has been living in the home since February, and police have said that there is nothing they can do. The squatter allegedly tried to push the homeowner off a ladder. Wow, okay. Can you not get arrested for that?
It's ridiculous that we're in this type of society, dude. Like, come on, man. Like, if you own something and you have documents that you own something, what is this squatters' rights bullshit? Like, why is that even a thing?
It literally shouldn't exist. Like,
what is their kayfabe reason for squatters' rights being a thing? If a squatter's living in an abandoned crack den or some shit, like it clearly that doesn't fit the bill.
Well, even then, if I have a property that let's say I get to the point where I'm wealthy enough, like some of these other commentators, and I decide to get a second property. If while I'm at my second property, someone breaks into my first property, stays there while I'm gone for a couple months, and I come back, they just own the property now?
It's nuts. How is that even a thing?
I don't know. And how are you as a human being, a cop? The cops are humans. Everyone should know that. I hope. How are you gonna show up to mediate a situation, and you're like, okay, this person owns the property, this person doesn't own the property, has no tenancy here, only stayed here as like a hotel through Airbnb, and is decided that she's just not going to leave or pay rent or anything. How are you as a cop like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You can stay.
The idea was to give renters rights against slumlords, but like that's like fucking third world country type shit. Like that doesn't happen here, and the only reason why they would pass something like that is to make us more like a third world country.
Yeah.
Like, listen, you might get nickeled and dimed by a slumlord, quote unquote, or a landlord, but that's usually the length of it. Usually, when you start to really get nickel and dimed by landlords, is when the government continues to put in these silly things like this. So then they got to come up with more things to protect themselves against wonderful government like regulations or exceptions or stupid shit. You can always rely on the government. It's always these insignificant people that have no life experience that all of a sudden want to dictate to people in their life experience on how to do something.
I mean, it's
property owners should just be able to remove them. And what's funny is because they can't do nothing about it. But if she removes her from there, the cops are going to arrest her. Insane.
Yep. And we've seen it before.
Insane.
We have absolutely seen it before. People try to squat on someone's property. The owner returns, sees the person trying to squat on their property, physically removes them, and the owner gets arrested, and the squatter gets to stay.
This is what happens with left-wing extremism. This is how they win. Ever since, more so, it's happened before, but ever since it started with the Mike Brown situation in Ferguson, Missouri, and now it came to a capsize with the George Floyd thing. The cops do not want to do anything. They won't do anything because if they do something and they do something wrong, they will be drugged through the mud and they'll be sent to jail for 25 years like Derek Chauvin.
Yep. Even though I've said it before, Derek Chauvin, I don't believe he really did anything wrong.
He did what he was trained.
He did what he was trained to do. There was people that testified during his trial that is exactly what they're trained to do. So he followed training.
And despite that, like, you can make an argument that logically, the guy has his handcuffs behind his back, he's done, but that doesn't matter. It's what he was trained to do. And this is about having a reasonable doubt. It's not about assuming what he should have done better. It's about, is there a reasonable doubt that he fucking murdered him? The most they could have done was manslaughter. That's the fucking most they could have done.
I think they should have sued the police department, like a civil lawsuit against the police department to force them to change their practices. But I don't think Derek Chauvin should have been charged.
Right, but what happened is like I said, left wing extremism won, and that was the metaphoric crescendo of it all. Was these jurors knew that there was no reasonable doubt that he murdered him, and everything that they brought up showed that he did what he was trained to do. And they still put his ass in jail because they didn't give a fuck. They didn't want to deal with the riots. So when you ask how do you win, I mean, it's very clear every time the left wing, every time these agitators do something, that always seems to work in their favor. So I don't know what that means.
I mean, I covered a story yesterday. I think I covered it before you joined in the stream. In Portland, Oregon, they just acquitted a guy for stabbing a dude because he said the N-word.
Yep, I remember. I was there.
Like,
I saw that. It's crazy.
It's that was my stream yesterday. I basically, half of it was talking about can words be met with violence, and ultimately it's a hard no. People's words cannot be met with violence, and the line there is calls to action. Calls to action against you, calls to action against other people. That's when the line is drawn, and you can move to stop them.
It's not like he said, "Let's get that bligger." He said,
"Yeah." He probably got stabbed, and he's like, "Oh, effing, N-word."
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Oh, gee golly gosh. Oh man, gee Willikers, Batman. Anyway,
you and you triggers.
Damn, my ninja. Anyway.
Damn, my video ninja.
My video ninja. So the homeowner, Rochan Douglas, did not know if that her life would be turned upside down after accepting Ramiro's request for an Airbnb reservation 10 months ago. Dude, 10 months. They let this woman stay in her house 10 months, and they refused to kick her out.
We can't do anything. I'm sorry, ma'am. We don't want to get whiplash through the media.
Didn't people used to get evicted for not paying rent?
Mm-hmm.
So like,
shit, what am I paying? What am I doing?
Yeah,
I could just do this.
You just be a squatter. Yeah, dude, man.
At least I technically am on the apartment.
What we got to start doing is we got to start finding politicians and renting out their houses through Airbnb and then squatting.
Oh, no. That'll never happen. You know, there's different sets of rules when it comes to politicians.
Oh yeah, those people would be removed immediately.
Yeah, you could be a rioter and burn down your whole neighborhood, but God forbid you get ushered in by police into the Capitol. You can't put those politicians' lives in danger. Just put your own life in danger. That's okay.
Yep. They're better men, Joey. Better men.
Oh God, Misa.
Oh my God. I disagree. Words may beget violence, but not necessarily the level of deadly force. A lot of our societal issues could be resolved if people were afraid of getting punched in the face. I just disagree, Tactical Tinkerer. I think if people were able to handle words a lot better, that'd be a lot better for society. And
there's also
all it takes is one punch to kill somebody. So
one of the first debates that Tyler and Nora got into, I remember very crystal clear, was how you should meet force. And, you know, there's always that gentleman's agreement of hands in hands, but like, you never know what's going to happen. You never know what could potentially happen. So people might start punching, and then their homeboys might come from behind you and hit you in the head with a cinder block. And well, that's it. You won't wake up anymore.
Or you get into a fight and the other person starts winning, and then they just don't stop.
Yeah. And then you're like, damn it. The only way I can stop him is if I shoot him. And it's like, well, maybe you should have just taken your words better.
Yeah, so like while I understand Tactical Tinkerer, like there's some things that people could say that would make you want to punch them in the face, but you don't have the right to do that. They have the right to say that under the Constitution. You don't have a right to swing on them for it.
I get what he's saying in the sense that like some people, like, you know, what's the saying? Some people need to get their ass beat. It's like a metaphoric thing of like some people are just way out of line and they could really benefit from getting their ass beat. But there's also like, what do they say? To stop a bully, you got to stand up to a bully. But if a bully is just using words or whatever, it's like, ignore them. But if the bully starts stealing your lunch money, now it's a different story.
Shitty Gov says, I agree, but there are also ways to punch faces without getting caught. Well, then that's just called a sucker punch, Shitty Gov. And then you're just a bitch yourself. So I don't know what to tell you.
He's like, I'm not a bitch. I'm just whiskey.
Okay. So let's see. So the reservation ended on March 29th for this woman, but Ramiro has yet to leave, claiming tenants' rights. After being in the home for over 30 days, Ramiro claimed residency and refused to allow Douglas to enter the property, according to ABC 7 News. Dude, I don't know what I would do if some person did this to me.
I know what I would do.
I mean, you probably can't say it on YouTube, but but you know what I mean, like. Legally, what do you do in this situation? Because the woman literally is refusing to allow you to enter your own property. You were kicked out of your own home, and now they're refusing to let you in. I mean, we know of a story recently of someone who lost their house, and the way they went about it was a little insane. So things
people
like
do
this,
insane things. When the local government won't do their fucking duty, this is what the people will go to insane lengths. So I don't want to hear nothing about the person who went to the insane lengths. It could be stopped if the local government actually did what they were supposed to do, and the local police force.
Absolutely. Here, let's watch this video. Libs of TikTok shared this video.
New at
oh wait, you can't hear it. Hang on, Joey can't hear it. One momento. See, this one. Okay. I don't know if you might hear yourself, Joey, so I apologize.
Only on 7 News. We are now hearing from the woman accused of taking over an Airbnb in Northeast DC. The homeowner reached out to 7 on Your Side for help after that woman refused to leave. Our Washington, D.C. reporter Felicia Ashley is now live outside the home. Felicia, you have a lot of updates on this case.
Bye, Felicia.
A lot, and it all happened as we were out here working on the story.
She did not sound how I thought she would.
Was able to board up the home, but the guest was able to get back in.
She works in news. She has to sound a certain way.
Speak with the person the homeowner is accusing of squatting in her home. She stopped us as we were outside doing the story and invited us in.
The police.
That's insane. You see a bunch of newscasters, and you're sitting in a house that you stole from somebody, and you're like, yeah, come on in, but you won't let the owner in.
Her to hire a locksmith and break in. She gave them no documents. She gave them no court orders. She gave them no lease. She just came and said, I'm locked out. This is taking me somewhere where I'm...
Yeah, how do you feel about that, Joey? She's just said that she actually changed the locks, and the squatter called a locksmith, and the locksmith just let her in.
We don't live in a serious society. Everyone wants to follow these rules that the government and the local government sets, and I'm just like, why? What's even the point? What's even the point, really?
I always
Why
make
do we
that
even
joke
pay
when I'm
rent?
driving around, like, oh, make sure you follow the government's arbitrary lines.
Yeah. I'm. You know what? I'm sure these. I've said this before. You know, everything the government does is at the sake of their own convenience because we're little, plebes and they can't be bothered with our petty problems. I think most laws have been invented because there was two parties that had an issue, and they're like, we must have some sort of resolution and apply it the same to every other problem that might be somewhat similar. And that's where most traffic laws probably come in from.
Miss for Missy said 1 like equals 1 free stay in someone's house.
I'm just gonna wait till Missy goes on vacation, and I'm gonna go jump through her window and just stay there and be like, sorry,
Squatters' rights.
Squatters' rights. You can squat on me. Anyway, moving on.
So if I prove that I hid in someone's attic for 30 days,
Yeah, right.
do I get squatters' rights?
You'd be like, you're living in your mom's basement. It's my basement now.
I own the basement now. You get
I am the
everything ground
basement.
level.
I am the basement.
All right,
Tactical Tinkerer is correct though. The society where, and this is why I always say that we have been already taken over by the Marxists. This is how Marxist societies work. The rules only apply to those who follow the rules. The people who don't follow the rules are the unofficial police force for the Marxist takeover. That's how it works. That's why they don't do anything towards the people who are rule breakers.
I mean, what kind of communist bullshit is this? I mean, literally, you steal someone's home and you get to keep it just because you were there.
Yeah, landlord's bad.
Landlord's bad. Yeah, how dare you own land?
How dare you make profit off of your owned home? How dare you?
I think you should do a show about that on Outworld or something, Joey. Talk about how important land ownership is and all the things that they're trying to do to take it from us. Because you have places like BlackRock trying to buy up all these properties, and you have situations like this where they're literally removing ownership from landlords.
Private equity buying land for the purposes of making a bigger profit should be illegal. And I know some people are going to say, oh, that's commie gobbledygook. It's like, I don't think so. I mean, how's it commie gobbledygook? If there's one thing that the federal government, see, this is where the line of what should the federal government do versus what I think they're going to do comes in. If there's something the federal government should do, it's protecting the citizens' rights against harmful encroachers, and big mega corporations are harmful encroachers to most people's rights.
Yeah, and it's just insane because when you think about it, when you think about non-renewable resources, land is non-renewable. So like it's incredibly important that once you own land, that you get to keep it. And that's why you and I are vehemently against things like property tax. That's exactly how they remove generational wealth from people, is when your family member dies and then the property gets passed on to you. Not only is there a bunch of taxes involved in that, but then you also have to continue to pay the property tax. And a lot of people, depending on the property, just can't afford it. So then they end up reselling the property, and then it goes to BlackRock and these other companies.
That's just like the mafia. It's like we got protection on your store, but you got to pay us kickback every month.
Yep.
It's like, that's what it is. So I was like, the government, over time, they've learned so many wise lessons from the mafia and
cartels and other criminal organizations. We've learned a lot from communists.
It's almost like when you watch these old television shows about the mafia and they paint the mafia as the bad guys. It's actually, they're competing with the government. The government is the big kingpin in town, and the mafias are just trying to find their little pockets in which they could take advantage of, because the government has a vice grip on everything.
Exactly.
This is, when you really think about, this is another thing to do a show, and I got to start writing things down. I need a secretary. But when you think about like the whole dichotomy of the Pinkertons and the Old West, people are like, oh, well, the cowboys just wanted to have their wild, wild west. Everyone always uses the wild, wild west when they want to describe total chaos and anarchy. Oh, they want to have the wild, wild west. No, it was more so about the government is now encroaching on, somebody's territory, essentially. And they're starting to take it all over because the government can't stand to have a pocket of something where somebody is actually benefiting on their own. They need to have that slice, and they will use the fact that, well, we are the federal government. This is all of our land. Since we're the federal government, we have the right to your land. It's like, no, You don't have the right to our land. You have the right to make sure the citizens' rights are protected, not to be the thing that encroaches on the citizens' rights.
Yeah, but you know they get a I mean, the government literally has a monopoly on power. So and
That's ironic, isn't it?
it is. You know, I thought we were anti-monopoly here in this country, but evidently we're not. I mean, you just look at all
We
these
have to
different
force the government to split.
we do. Force them to split back into 3 branches.
Yeah. No. Don't you know Congress can just absolve themselves of responsibility?
It's still insane to me. I mean, I just remember having that conversation with Jeff.
Why do we elect them?
Well, even Jeff was like, well, they passed these laws that allow the delegation of power, and then even he was baffled because I was countering his claim, and he looked it up, and I think he used Grok, but Grok outright said that it says in the Constitution that the Congress has the exclusive power. It specifically says exclusive power to do these things. And then I was like, whoa, just stop reading there. Like, you don't have to read any further because everything after that is unconstitutional. And he like tried to read on a little bit, and then he thought about it, and then he's like, actually, yeah, you're right. It is unconstitutional.
If you have, if Tyler has the exclusive rights to Joey Cannoli, and I show up on the Quiet Part Pod, what does that mean? He doesn't have exclusive rights.
I don't.
It's phony baloney. Like he can't then go, listen, I'm going to sublease my contract for you to go in the Quiet Part. It's like, no. Do you know what exclusive means?
Well, and then it gets worse there, Joey. And then you just stop appearing here and only appear over there. But I continue to say I have exclusive rights.
Yeah, right.
Like that's how our government's going right now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's insane. It's nuts. Like people really don't understand how nuts it is. We have whether it was first minting of currency that they've outright outsourced to private banks, private companies, which we don't vote for. So now we're like the European Union. And then they decide that we could just give the right to the federal government to go to war whenever they want. It's like, you talk about breaking the Constitution. I got to hear this bullshit from the Republicans or even the Democrats about my Constitution. It's like, get out of here, bro. You guys routinely break this all the time. And I'm supposed to like feel pressured to vote for Republicans now because we don't want the communists to win. Well, I'm sorry. This fucking homeowner can't get her goddamn home back because it's squatters' rights and the cops won't do anything about it.
And then this is in D.C.
We've
where the
really
National
stopped
Guard
communism.
has been.
Yeah, we've really stopped communism, huh?
Donald Trump just isn't going far enough. Like, this is something that you and I have long
Fake
complained
news.
about. He's just not going far enough. And then look at
Tyler is a rhino.
look at what he's doing to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene, like she's kind of responding. I saw a response from her today, and she just said that it's really sad to see like Trump has to like go resort to name calling all of this stuff to get his way.
God, he made poop joke about her the other day. A poop joke.
Yeah,
Green
she's Marjorie Major Brown or something now.
Trader Brown.
Trader Brown. Sorry, Marjorie. Oh yeah, I can't say Major. That's too complimentary.
Yeah. But
no, yeah. So now what is it that they say? She's the enemy. Marjorie Taylor Greene's the enemy because she didn't fall.
She's a rhino. Yeah, she's a rhino now.
What even is a rhino anymore?
Means. A rhino is supposed to be neocons that are basically left-wingers masquerading as right-wingers, military-industrial complex types. But apparently it's people who want freedom now.
Yeah.
Do you see that, though? Do you see that? I want people to realize that. That's very important. I don't know if you have the ability to replay buffer, but I want you to do it when I'm done here. Do you see what Donald Trump's doing when he takes the word rhino and he starts to make it mean Thomas Massey, Rand Paul, Marjorie Taylor Greene? Is that not like what leftists do when they change definitions of words? Is that not what they do? They will literally take a word that is meant for something else and then apply it to something else as a way to manipulate people. That's exactly what he's doing when he calls it.
Or to alter the meaning of it. Yeah.
So now these people who have their head up, and see, hey, listen, South Park might be on the button with these with their shit retroactively, but brown nosing Donald Trump, all these people brown nosing him. All these people are now in the next 20 to 30 years going to be remembering about those damn rhinos, Thomas Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene. And it's just like what the left has done with the calling everybody racist. It doesn't mean what it used to mean. Fascism doesn't mean what it used to mean. Dictionary.com changed the definition of fascism to be something about racism. It's like, no, it was the merger of company, a corporation, and government. It has nothing to do with racism. It has
which
to do with
is
the
something
merging.
that actively has been happening.
Yeah, so you see, that's what he's doing. He's changing the definition of words to mean what he wants. He can't control the narrative, so he's going to control the language.
Yeah, no, it's and I just, you know, you and I both thought that this was going to go in a different direction when he got elected, and we're not seeing it. And there's so many people that are, and I'm sorry guys, but I have to call it cope. But there's people that reply to me on Twitter that are like, no, just wait till next year when the funding for ICE goes into effect. And it's like,
Oh, yes.
yeah, with the funding for ICE goes into effect, I can't wait. It's going to be great because then we'll have even more stories of people getting their rights infringed because ICE doesn't know how to properly go through these places.
Yeah, and then they'll have things like Mad Storks brought up where they go after the fucking easiest common denominator because that's what they do. That's what authority does. They don't want to meet resistance. They want to meet the least common resistance that they can get. They're not going to go after the goddamn groups of 40, 50 gang members huddle up in a fucking one-bedroom apartment. They're going to go after the poor, the workers. They're not listen, everyone, obviously we want all the illegals out, but there has to be some sort of priority. The ones that are actually causing the most trouble are the violent gang members. I understand that the others are siphoning from the system via welfare fraud, but guess what? It's also causing us more fraud, the Federal Reserve. So that's not really the forefront in my mind. The forefront of my mind is getting the sex traffickers, the sexual assaulters, the rapers, the murderers. All those people need to go, but those are the hardest ones to get out.
Yeah, they're the hardest ones to get out, and you know, it's funny because like you said, depending on who you are in government, you can get away with more. And I thought about covering this story, but Caroline Leavitt, whatever.
Yeah.
So someone in her family, it's her nephew's mother is an illegal immigrant who got picked up by ICE, and she was released.
Oh,
She was released back into the country.
how sweet.
Yeah. And again, rules for thee, not for me.
So I ask you again, we might have slightly more breadcrumbs, but how is the behavior any different than what we get with the left?
Unfortunate.
You know,
Joe
Biden might say, "Here's a piece of cheese," and Donald Trump might go, "Well, here's a cheap steak." Thanks.
Yeah,
I guess I should be satisfied with the
marginally
cheap
better.
steak.
It's noticeably better, but like it's still not where we need to be.
Yeah, Donald, you promised me fucking a nice steakhouse steak, not a fucking cheap steak that I have to.
I just wish our government knew dating etiquette, man. I mean, at least take me out to dinner before you fuck me. Damn, dude.
Yeah, seriously, bro. At least love bomb me, please. They're not even love bombing us.
They love sprinkling.
Like, you know what? I've already accepted the fact that like it's there's no winning. We have to find the balance. We have to, like, instead of making the pendulum go like this, we have to make it go like this. Because it's never going to stop in the center. It's never going to do that shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, listen, if they continue to skim from the top and fucked us in certain areas, but they are like, all right, here's 30% of what we were normally taking from you, we're going to give back. I'd be like, all right, now we're negotiating. But it's not even negotiation. It's like we're trapped. We've been kidnapped. We're all trapped underground. And Donald Trump busts through and he grabs the bars and he's like, I'm going to get you guys out of here. And then we got all this hope. And then later, Donald Trump comes down as the overseer and he goes, I'll get you guys out at some point. But first, I'm going to need you to build a statue of me. And when you're done building that statue, you got to go back in here. But trust me, I'm going to get you guys out at some point. And he's just keeping people. He's just hoping. He's hoping. And listen, if me and Tyler are wrong, well, there goes our career. But listen, I don't think I'm wrong. I think I'm going to be proven right because he's got a year left before they get blown out in the midterms, despite the fact that they're going to do districting change in Texas and in Indiana and probably in other places too. They're probably going to still get blown out. Could you imagine how badly they'd get blown out if they didn't do the redistricting? Oh.
And then you have, and I know Bush is saying it ironically, but you have a bunch of people on the right that are just coping. And don't get me wrong, I like Tate Brown from Timcast. I actually think he's pretty cool, but he's one of those people that it's like, just trust the process. And it's like, yeah, I'd love to, but what's the fucking process?
But here's the problem. Isn't he like 22 or 23?
I think, yeah, he's no, I think he's 24.
He's a little bit younger than you, I think.
He might be like a year younger or something.
So like the issue is like, and he was what, high school when Donald Trump's first term came. Like, and that's not to say like his experience is wrong or anything, because obviously Tyler has that shit fresh in his mind too. But like, even with certain things, I brought up certain things about the Bush administration or Clinton administration, and it's a blind spot because you just can't always know everything if you haven't experienced it over time. So like, he doesn't understand how Donald Trump's first term was decent, but he really missed the mark on his hiring, man. He Rex Tillerson was his Secretary of State at first. He was a big oil executive. I mean, and then he hired Bolton, and then he had Mad Dog Mattis. Like, he just kept missing the mark over and over. His heart was in the right place, but it was disappointing. And now come the second time around, he is promising the fucking sun, moon, and earth and all of its stars and Saturn's moons and Jupiter's moons.
And we're getting grains of sand.
He says we're going to make Pluto a planet again. And then when he gets in office, and it's just like he's telling us that we're wrong, or that he never promised this, or that this it's like his behavior is not that of someone who is actually going to follow through on his promises. There's no way his reaction to the Epstein stuff, whether he's in it or not, is irrelevant to me. Whether he's protecting somebody, which is probably what it is, he's probably protecting the actual rhinos. His response to all this stuff by telling us that we are Democrats or we are rhinos for caring about this stuff, it makes no sense, and it reeks of someone who's compromised.
I completely agree. And
It's
you know,
sad.
we're
It's
supposed
really
to get
sad.
we're supposed to get more Epstein stuff, but I don't know. Hopefully we
It'll
get
all
that
be
stuff before I
redacted.
die. You know, like that one senator said. Are we gonna get it before I die?
But you know, another aspect that you have to consider when it comes to Tate, and is you know, he has to sell hope as well. He has to sell hope, because when it comes to right-wing people, they don't get sold. I mean, at least long-term, they don't get sold on fear the same way that the left does. That's the one difference. Is you need to have some sort of hope for the
Fuck,
right.
are you saying I'm
they're
doing
just-
the wrong grift, Joey? God damn it!
No, like, you have to have some level of. You have to have, if you're going to have 9 black pills, you have to have 1 white pill. You have to keep the right-wing person hopeful, or else they're just going to retreat to their farm and not give a crap. Whereas the left-wing people, they feed off of the constant fear, because they, you know, their fear thing is like the world is ending. So that's an easy way to keep somebody in that. I have to pay attention to politics. I don't want the world to end. I have to pay attention to politics. I don't want the life as I know it to end. It's more like a selfish response. You know what I mean? I need my life to keep going. I need everything to stay the same. I don't want it to end. Whereas the people on the right are more like, well, if there's no hope, I'm just going to do me and stead my farm and have 17 children and hope for the best in the future. So that's why you always got to sprinkle some hope in there. You got to keep them coming back. You got to keep them addicted to the heroin. You got to keep them addicted to the needle.
I gotta crush your hopes and dreams right now, though, Joey, because we're gonna listen to this woman talk about how she stole this house.
I'm not trying to be. I'm trying to stay on the right. But for somebody to just take and do, everybody has a breaking point.
I went back to the property today and saw child services show up because Shadija brought her daughter into the home while there was no power or electricity inside. Police also showed up because the homeowner's truck went missing after Shadija got back in the house.
Wait, so she stole this lady's truck too?
What the fuck?
Did I hear that right? She said that the homeowner's truck is missing, and that the water and power are off, so child services had to come because her daughter is also staying in the home now. At what point do the cops say that this woman needs to get the fuck out?
Bush says federal judge approved Justice Department's request to unseal Maxwell's sex trafficking
I did see
case.
that, and I believe a judge from Florida was also ruled to unseal that. So hopefully we'll get some movement in that area, but time
They're
will only
still
tell.
gonna they will still retract names, even if they will absolutely use the national security thing, which should tell you all you need to know.
Republic Boss brings up an excellent point. Didn't you know that renting is also white supremacy? I forgot. I apologize.
Right.
Let me apologize for my ancestry.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we'll all be sleeping in sleeping bags then.
Oh yeah. Well, let's see how this woman lives.
Door open to get a package. I saw what appears to be a candles and essential oils business inside.
This is unbelievable.
That led to a virtual emergency hearing today. In court, it was revealed that Shadija tried to push Roshane off a ladder, took the utilities out of the homeowner's name and put it in her daughter's name, tampered with cameras, requested that Roshane pay her back for the food lost when the power was turned off. Oh, and she asked the judge if she could question Roshane as a hostile witness. I was with Roshane as she attended the hearing from her car outside the home.
And the sad part is, I feel sorry for her. I really do. But your problem is, this is not my, I can't help you. But I do truly feel sorry for her and her child and all of this. And I have a big heart, and this is the outcome of me having a big heart. But I really hope somebody can help her. But
who fucking gives a shit? Fuck her.
Yeah, I've never understood this where it's like, oh, I forgive the person fucking me over.
No, fuck that shit. People gotta stop being such bitches, man. I swear.
Yeah, that's not having a big heart. That's being a fucking pussy.
Yeah, no, that's being a naive. Maybe, you know what? She deserves to be taken advantage of. Next story.
I mean, look, I honestly, that is kind of where I'm leaning towards now, because it's like, literally, if you're just like, oh, I feel bad for her, you know, giving excuses to the behavior. Okay, well then the behavior is excused.
It's like with my friend who was a drug addict, and then once I found that he was stealing from me, I kicked him out. Like, that's it.
Yeah, that.
I feel bad for him. He's a drug addict. That's tough. I'm gonna keep your cat. Get out of here.
Right. Exactly. Is that what happened, Joey?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Shit.
I said the cat can stay. You get the fuck out. That's what I should have did at the first, but I didn't know he's addicted to drugs.
Well, but this woman knows that the woman staying in her house has stolen her house.
10 months.
Yeah, 10 months. Suicidal empathy. Spot on, Boosh. Suicidal empathy. I had to explain this to my girlfriend, what was it, a couple weeks ago. Because I was like, do you know what suicidal empathy is? And I told her, I was like, it's where you feel bad for someone to the point where you hurt yourself. That's essentially what it is. A lot of people have it nowadays, where you feel so sorry for someone else and their situation that you allow that person to fuck up your situation. And it's exactly, the name is perfect, suicidal empathy. You cannot have empathy to the point where it hurts you. Let's see the rest of this. I want to. Where's the interview for the lady inside? I'm done hearing the homeowner. Homeowner sounds dumb.
Like this, and there's no recourse for me.
Just moments ago, as we were working on this live shot and this report, Shadija came up to our car and said that we could finally speak to her. This is what she had to say, or part of what she had to say during our 15-minute conversation.
Oh, you're not going to release the full 15 minutes? Fuck cowards.
She said that we didn't have a lease, which we do not have a...
If Velma was black, that's what she'd look like.
Wait. Here, wait. Listen to what she just said.
Have a lease, which we do not have a lease in place, but we did have an agreement for me to stay at the property beyond.
These weasel words. You hear that? She said that we don't have a lease, which we don't have a lease, but we had an agreement for me to stay at the property. Yeah, it's called Airbnb.
If I was playing LA Noir, I'd be hitting doubt right now.
Press X to doubt. No, but she's playing politics. This is like political.
Yeah, but look at all the look at the over exaggerated face.
Yeah, she's like, you know, like I just don't even want to be in this situation. I just want the free house.
You know, we had a agreement. Fucking ridiculous.
Beyond the initial Airbnb time frame. So she's been back to the property almost every day. They installed signs.
That's it? That's all you're going to show from her interview?
Watch the rest. Go to the website, subscribe, like, and follow.
Right. What is this? Anyway, yeah, we can move on. This is just ridiculous. And the woman staying in her house, she has no... she should have no ability to stay there. Like, it should just remove... It should be as simple as, okay, do you live here? Yes. Okay. Do you pay property tax? Do you pay rent? Do you have an like where does it say that you're allowed to stay here? Like it should be that simple. But the cops just show up, locksmith shows up. I mean, the locksmith one is insane to me because locksmiths are supposed to ensure that the person that they're letting into the house actually stays there. So a locksmith just breaks into someone's house for you, and then you're like, okay, it's my house now. Asian Andy went and squatted on a squatter and filmed it for a week with the homeowner's permission, played loud music constantly, flooded out her bedroom, beat on the bedroom door. See, that's hilarious. Can we get more of that? Until the woman left because she couldn't take it. See, that's hilarious. That's what we should encourage, Joey. For squatters like this, you just need to go and squat with them. And then just be obnoxious to the point where they leave.
We should literally just squat and put the fist in the air like this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Join the commies?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm gonna go and find a nice estate that I know nobody's in right now and just break in and just set up my stream in there and be like, listen, bro, I've been here for 2 weeks.
Been here for, yeah, see, and then that's the other thing too, is you can just lie about how long you've been there.
Yeah, I've been here for like 4 weeks, bro.
Bro, I've been here for like 2 months, bro. You haven't noticed?
That's
like
a level
share
of
a
petty that would
fridge.
make 50 Cent proud. Oh god, that thing where 50 Cent did an interview and he did it on, what was it, ABC, because he knew that's what was shown in prison, so Diddy could see it. I love it.
That's insane.
I love it. I love 50. That's another reason. See, I'm adding this to the list as to why 50 Cent's better than Eminem.
Oh yeah. I like what
50 don't give
Rebel
a
No Yell
fuck.
said. Rebel No Yell said, eat lots of beans and constantly fart. That'll scare away the squatter.
Especially if you're squatting.
Yeah, especially if you're squatting. Yeah, you might have to fart when you're squatting anyway. Well, we'll move
Prepare for
along.
liftoff.
We were on that story for a while. Joey was talking about getting down on your knees and putting a fist up. Is that what you're talking about, Joey?
No, squatting and putting a fist up. Like,
well, I don't know. I was trying to relate it. I was trying to relate what you were just saying to this story here. We have this from The Guardian. FBI agents fired for kneeling at racial justice protests sue to win jobs back. Agents who kneeled in 2020 accused Kash Patel of retaliation and say that they were trying to calm a volatile situation. So 12 former FBI agents fired after kneeling during a 2020 racial justice protest in Washington have sued to get their jobs back, saying their action had been intended to de-escalate a volatile situation and was not meant as a political gesture. Do you buy that? Do you buy that,
No.
Joey? I don't
sounds
buy
like
that.
a convenient excuse.
Sounds like a convenient excuse.
What
And
volatile situation? I don't even see anything other than them around.
right,
there
like
more we
they're
can
just in
find on
front of
this?
they're just in front of a federal building. Like,
Bro, if they were surrounded by like 400 people and they're like kneel or die or something, I'd be like, okay, but like they're just smiling and yucking it up for the cameras, and there's just cameras and
Posing
there's
for
Fruit Loops wearing a
pictures.
mask in the background.
yeah.
So,
Well, they're all wearing masks because this was back during COVID. This is
oh
like
yeah,
peak
God
COVID.
forbid. They look so stressed. Yeah,
They look so stressed.
do.
Yeah, look at this woman. She's very stressed. She was calming a volatile situation right here.
yeah. She's smiling. She doesn't even have her fist clenched. There's no signs of nerves or strain. None of that.
And the reason they're using the wording like this is because no matter where you work, like even at my new job, I'm not going to say where I work, even at my new job, I'm not allowed to go in uniform and make a political point. You're not allowed to do that. An employer does not allow you to do that. The military does not allow you to do that. You cannot be in military fatigues or attire and then espouse a political ideology. You're not allowed to do that. That's just across the board. And the reason for that, and that's not a freedom of speech thing, because you're allowed to do it outside of work. But when you do it in uniform, it could be taken to mean that whoever you work for or whoever you're with believes in that ideology, and that's why they separate the two. So when they do political things like this, people could lean towards the FBI having a political opinion on it. Which obviously they do. Obviously this group has a political opinion on Black Lives Matter. They're taking a knee for them. I guarantee I bet at least half the people in this picture posted black squares on their Instagram.
Oh, God, I hope not. I mean, they probably did. Look at their fucking
Yeah.
posturing.
And then look at the person of color in the background, just standing with one foot back.
He's so cool.
Oh yeah.
With his mom jeans.
I think that's a female, Joey.
Shit, I don't know. Mom jeans, then. So is that still an accurate statement?
So the agents say that in their lawsuit that they were fired in September by Kash Patel, the FBI director, because they were perceived as not being politically affiliated with Donald Trump. But they say their decision to take a knee on the June 4th, 2020, days after the death of George Floyd at the hands of Minneapolis police, has been misinterpreted as political expression, because it was political expression. It was not misinterpreted.
Yeah, it's definitely a cop out. They're capping, as the kids would
Cap.
say.
That's a straight cap. Straight cap. It's because they know if they say that it was a political expression, that there is grounds to fire them.
Tyler, I have a new game for you to invent. Instead of be or not to be, you should just make a game called Cap or No Cap.
No cap. That sounds like something you could do on Nightcap.
Cap or No Cap.
Instead of playing Repo after Nightcap, you should do Cap or No Cap.
Oh, then I'd have to look for stories.
Well, no, it doesn't have to be like stories. It could just be like, I don't know. It could just be like ideas. Like, you don't even have to pull up the story. It'd be like, an FBI agent kneeling after George Floyd. Is it or is it not political expression? And you could be like, cap or no cap. And it'd be like, cap, that's political expression.
The quote from this video game developer, cap or no cap?
Yeah, right. GTA 6 is being stalled because... Oh, damn. That blew up in my ears. GTA 6 is being stalled for political reasons. Cap or no cap?
GTA 6 is being stalled because they're very fearful of the RAM prices. Cap or no cap?
Actually, that's a pretty good assumption. But
I think there's going to be a lot of God forbid these poor game companies are going to have to be forced to optimize their games again. Oh no!
Oh no! I just can't wait for Grand Theft Auto 6 to be $100. It's going to be great.
I just love how I want to play Doom Dark Ages, and for some reason the game looks exactly the same as the other two Doom games. But for some reason you need 32 gigs of RAM to run it optimally instead of 8 like the last two. It's weird how that happens. Oh, the shaders and textures that you can barely notice. Oh,
they just don't make games like they used to. They really don't.
They don't have to. They don't have to.
Yeah.
And that's really what it boils down to, and which is why we live in a duopoly, and why I think the Netflix buying Warner Brother Discoveries is such a bad idea, because they literally don't have to pay attention to quality. They have such a grip on IPs that they can do whatever they want, and they have so much stuff that you're gonna have to find your way back to them at some point.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
What's also ridiculous is what this lawsuit says. The lawsuit says that the agents were assigned to patrol the nation's capital during a period of civil unrest prompted by Floyd's death. Lacking protective gear or extensive training in crowd control, the agents became outnumbered by hostile crowds. They encountered it and decided to kneel to the ground in hopes of diffusing the tension. The lawsuit said the tactic worked. The lawsuit asserts the crowds dispersed, no shots were fired, and the agents saved American lives that day. No. They're not, like you pointed out, they're not surrounded by a crowd. And, like, what does kneeling do? Not even all of them are kneeling. So, like, it's just a ridiculous argument.
Sorry, I'm my own secretary. I'm writing things down. I'm not trying to be a bad...
No, you're fine.
Yes.
I'm just pointing out that, like, as you pointed out, there's no crowd like in these pictures, and they don't look like they're under duress.
Yeah, who's going to arrest them? The cops? Oh, you don't have your mask on.
You don't have your mask on. Well, actually, remember, Joey, if you remember back during COVID, it was perfectly fine to not wear a mask if you're out in a protest.
Oh, yes, that's right, because on the scales of what's important in life, racial justice seems to always be at the top of everything.
It was
well, you called me the N-word? I could stab you. Racism is worse than actual physical violence that can kill you, apparently.
Absolutely. And words that could be misconstrued as racist are violent, and I am allowed to self-defend physically.
That's really what it boils down to, is that the mainstream media has convinced us, because we had a somewhat checkered past of racism, that means it's the worst possible thing of all time, when the history of the world has been other races or nationalities literally hating each other for no reason.
Yeah. So it says here that plaintiffs were performing their duties as FBI special agents, employing reasonable de-escalation to prevent a potentially deadly confrontation with American citizens. Washington massacre that could have rivaled the Boston Massacre in 1770, says the lawsuit, which was filed by attorneys with the Washington and Litigation Group. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you understand what I just read, Joey?
Nope, I missed. I can't listen while typing.
So, apparently, the plaintiffs in this case are arguing that they employed reasonable de-escalation to prevent a potentially deadly confrontation with American citizens. Their example is the Washington Massacre that could have rivaled the Boston Massacre in 1770.
What Washington Massacre?
No, they're saying that they stopped the Washington massacre.
Oh.
They're saying that it would have
Oh,
been
wow.
worse
Cap
than
or
the
no
Boston cap or no cap, bro.
Oh, come on, bro.
What can...
The
Joey, I see the future. Joe, either we take a knee now or we face a massacre in Washington.
Please tell us, Nostradamus, what is going to happen? I see a massacre in your future. You should
pull
take a
out the
knee
crystal ball. I
and give me all your money.
A massacre in your future if you do not kneel in the name of Black Lives Matter.
Yes, and give me all your money as well.
Give me your property, squatters' rights. Can I go squat in the FBI building? You go squat in an office room. So the FBI declined to comment. What's there to comment about? These people fucking kneeled for political reasons. There was no Washington massacre that could have occurred, whether they kneeled or not. This is just a ridiculous lawsuit. And the only
That's
reason
crazy. They're going to prevent the Washington. Like, all these left-wing riots are always worse. Like the Boston massacre, I hate to say it, it's like 5 people were fucking killed. Like, that's just another weekend in Chicago, baby. Yeah, it's just another weekend in DC, baby. What are they preventing? Like, come on, man.
Well, and technically, if you count the entire Summer of Love, that was way worse than the Boston massacre. So they didn't prevent anything.
It was way worse than a lot of things, really.
It really was. I mean, billions of dollars in multiple different cities. So many people were killed. Wasn't Kenosha, the Kenosha protest, wasn't that part of the George Floyd stuff too? That's with Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
So that whole thing was worse than the Boston massacre. So it's just ridiculous to even say that, oh, we prevented a Washington massacre that could have rivaled the Boston massacre.
Don't forget, we had that thing in Seattle where they literally took over like 8 blocks and had like their own communist thing where people started turning on each other after a week.
Yeah, Chaz and Chop. Yeah, no. And as Bush points out, this is almost the B level. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
Like this could almost be the B article. Like, this is ridiculous. We're just gonna move on. This is too stupid. These people clearly did this for political reasons. Like, I don't have anything else to say on the matter. You have any final thoughts on this, Joey? Fake and gay. Fake and gay. Yeah.
You read my mind.
Fake and gay. I mean,
everything's fake and gay, and it's a scam. I should put that on a T-shirt. Fuck.
If it's fake, it's gay and a scam.
I'm going to sell everything as fake and gay and a scam, and I'm going to make the shirt $50.
Yeah, we could sell that along with the.
Everything's a scam, but this shirt.
Grift it.
Dude, did you check the marketing area in the Discord? Misa has a design for clip it, post it, grift it already.
Sweet. Yeah. I'll check it out after this. So
I'll find the link and link you
for sure.
Whatever.
So we have 2 more stories to get through. See, you pointed this out last night on your show, Joey, and it's not that you turn. It's not that when we get together that the shows become nightcap. It's that when you and I get together, you and I we're both so good at riffing that we can just riff for like 20-30 minutes on one story. That's the real issue. It's not that the show becomes nightcap. It's that we're both really good at just going off the cuff, so that we just keep bouncing off each other.
Yeah. Before you know it, 4 hours have gone by.
I mean, literally, I try to keep the show to an hour, but we're probably gonna go another 20 minutes at least. So, but anyway, not that that's a bad. It's not that that's a bad thing. Just saying.
Actually, ancient. No. Okay, keep going. We're kind of distracted.
Actually,
anymore.
the ancient Sumerians. Anyway, we still need to do that.
Stone tablets. We do.
Anyway, so I want to move on to this next story. We have this story from the New York Post. Maryland Middle School's Transgender Awareness Week lesson gave kids as young as 11 tips about binding and coming out. So this is still happening. This stuff hasn't gone away. It's Trump's America, and the children are still gay. First on Fox, a Maryland middle school presented a slideshow to 6th graders celebrating Transgender Awareness Week, where the sixth grade children were given a lesson that included advice for coming out and 8 tips for being non-binary. A person's gender is who they feel that they are. Middle schoolers at Westland Middle School in Bethesda, Maryland, We're told last month in a
Impressive.
video that was contained in a 12-slide presentation obtained by Fox News Digital. It is important to understand the difference between sex and gender so that we can better understand ourselves. The slide
Ugh.
says beneath the video. A video that was produced by the LGBT educational resource provider Poppin' Ollie. Okay. Multiple slides in the presentation provide information on what it means to be transgender, and students are then quizzed about what they learned. Not only are they being taught this crap, but then they get quizzed on it. We're wasting valuable teaching time that could be used to bolster their knowledge of math, history, English, literature, and we're using it to teach them about sex and gender, which there is no difference between the two. And what I've told people, Joey, and I think I've told you before, when you hear these people talk about sex and gender and how there's a difference between the two, does it sound any different if I say that it's important to understand the difference between sex and personality?
I mean, all they're doing is describing personalities.
It really is. At the end of the day, they're conflating the term gender for personality, and then they're saying that you can change your gender, aka your personality, and that somehow correlates to your sex.
Well, that's because what their personality, like what they believe, they're getting confused here, I suppose. Their sexual preference is literally their only personality. So they're just like, this is my bio. I don't even know how they get to these points, man. It's wild. I could usually see how, like I've said before, when I talk about Luigi Mangione or these other things, like I could see how some people get to this path of thinking. I could see why a young person who's been jaded by the world, they're like, oh, I can't have this job because I need experience, but I can't get experience without having the job. I could see how they can be led down a socialist communist path, especially when they realize, yes, the big corporations and government are fucking us. I could see how people get led down these paths. I don't fucking see it with this gender identity stuff. I could even see how one could be led down the gay path, the left-hand path. But this gender ID, this extra gender shit is just, it's wild. I don't even like, these are magical leaps in logic.
Yeah, the mental gymnastics that one has to do to come to the conclusion that gender is separate from sex. I just can't for the life of me understand it. Like, I do to some degree, but the only way that it makes sense in my mind is that they're somehow conflating sex, gender, and personality. That's the only way that makes sense.
Well, this is what happens when you muddy language. People don't know the definitions of things, so they just assume that it's this, this, and this. So, like I said,
and that's what I tell people all the time. But words are incredibly important, and the definitions and meanings of those words are even more important than the words themselves, because that's how we convey meaning to people. That's how we can communicate with someone. So, like, if you and I are using a word like gender, for example, and it means something completely different to you than it does to me, but we don't acknowledge that, and we continue on with the conversation, by the end of the conversation, we're not gonna have the same understanding, because you'll have a completely different understanding because you have a different definition of the word. So it's incredibly important to know the definitions of these words and to hold them to those definitions.
You don't need to change laws if you change the definition of words.
Exactly, and that's ultimately the goal here.
Well-regulated militia, you change those words, you get, we need to have regulations in what you can hold. Well-regulated militia back then. No, not even just that. Well-regulated meant well-issued.
Yeah, and now regulated is, oh, the government has to come in and put laws on you.
Like, if I gotta go, Tyler, you need to regulate talking time for T-Bone on your show or something. That doesn't mean you need to restrict it. It means you need to allot. So when you allot something, you can choose to allot, or I guess now you could choose to unallot.
Well,
so that's how you change the definition of words, man. It's crazy.
Well, and then we're not even getting to the point that what we're talking about here is they're talking to 6th graders.
And that's really the abhorrent part.
They're talking to 6th graders about this. Look at this next line. In another slide, the students are told to discuss questions with their neighbor in class, including, quote, how do you know if they are a girl or a boy? I know because women and men, even at those young ages, have different body structures. Like, the shoulders are different, the faces are different. They're different. When they're younger, it might be there might be a little ambiguity there, but as soon as puberty hits, that disappears for almost everybody. So it's this is just indoctrination, and it hasn't gone away. I thought this stuff was supposed to be removed from schools, but it's not. Another question reads, the first thing people announce about their new baby is the gender. Why do you think that is? Probably because they want to know what to name their child. They need to put it on the birth certificate. They need to know what kind of toys and what kind of stuff to decorate the rooms with. There's so many different things. And it's like, I've told you before, I absolutely hate when people say, oh, the gender you are assigned at birth. That one pisses me off so much, because you're not being assigned anything, you're being observed. So like what gender were you observed as being at birth, Joey? That's a more proper way of saying it, because the doctor isn't just looking at you. You're not a blank fucking Barbie doll, and they're like, all right, let's put this organ right here. Like, that's not what's happening. Like, that would be
alchemy or some shit.
Yeah, now you've been assigned. Now you've been assigned a gender. But when a doctor looks down and they're like, okay, well, this baby clearly has this genitalia, that means it's a boy or it's a girl.
You were born as a cockless male.
You were born as a Barbie doll Ken doll. Like, no, we're not Barbie dolls. Like, you can clearly see what's between someone's legs. But then the people that also believe this, and I've told you before, I haven't watched in a while, but I used to watch the Whatever podcast, and I always found it was amusing, but also insane to me that you can walk these girls down this logic path of getting them to say that women can have penises.
Girl power, though.
Girl power. Girl power.
Men are trying to hold down
anything men can do.
No. Men are trying to hold women down. They're trying to make them just breeding slaves. But also, you same men, you can become women too, and now we're going to accept you. Insane. It's insane.
My favorite joke is men are so great at everything, they're even better at being women.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that, but
it's just amazing how they've been these warps in logic, and it's like I'm just starting to think like MK Ultra, man. They just figured out how to manipulate the low IQs. They really figured out how to what makes them tick. That's why TVs are the only thing that have standed the test of time for inflation. TVs are so cheap. They want people addicted to the flicker rates.
I mean, just look how insane this person
Keep watching
looks.
The programming.
This person looks insane.
I got to give this person credit. Not a clue if that's a dude or a chick.
I'm pretty sure it's a chick.
I think, but you never know. It might be an unimpressive, frumpy dude.
It's hard to tell now, especially with. I think makeup should just be illegal. Personally, I love the natural beauty of people, and the fact that people could just change the way they look entirely. I don't like it.
I like lipstick and eyeliner. You guys can keep that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Need.
That's fine. But like when you start contouring, like the way the shape of your face, I'm just no, because I've seen. I'm sure you've seen it too. Like TikToks of like people that look like they got hit with a truck, and then it transitions to the next slide, and they have a full thing of makeup, and they look like a supermodel. Like that should not be allowed.
When they put so much like foundation and whatever on their cheeks to where it looks like they have cheek injections, and then you accuse them of having cheek injections, and they're like, it's just makeup. It's like, go damn, bitch, stop putting so much of that on.
Yeah. And then we don't even have to get into the animal testing they do with makeup products or the chemicals that you're putting and absorbing through your skin.
It overall starts to make you age. Like I've seen some women like in their like mid-30s who use makeup all the time, and then they take it off, and I'm like, damn girl, why you look like that? And it's because you keep using so much makeup.
Yeah, women get wrinkles and stuff like that, and it could be because of the amount of makeup they're putting on.
And they got to take it all off the right way when they get home. And I guarantee you, some of them are just like, I'm so tired, I'll take my makeup off in the morning.
Right, and they just go to sleep with it, and then you're smushing it into your pillow.
Like I said, if you a little bit of lipstick and eyeliner, I think most women will be good to go, because there'll be sometimes where you're getting older and you get the crow's feet and you want to kind of disguise that a little bit. That's the important part. Like if you got bags under your eyes, bro, listen, we're all fucking tired. We all got the bags under our eyes. You can mitigate that based off the light reflection on your face. You don't need to put makeup on.
I mean, I have bags under my eyes every day, but my glasses with the glare kind of prevent people from looking at it, you know. But
you can also put ice cubes on your right here, and then it starts to make them go away a little bit. There's things you can do, guys. Everyone's just looking for the quick solution. That's the problem.
Natural remedies only, guys. Natural remedies only.
Yeah.
Well, and then it goes on to say here that, so again, keep in mind, everybody, we're talking about 6th graders. Students were also shown a video titled "Advice for Coming Out," along with a video titled 8 Tips for Being Non-Binary. Why are we encouraging children to come out? Come out of what? I'm assuming coming out of the closet, right? Or you know, coming out as non-binary, coming out as gay, or coming out as trans or whatever. Why are we encouraging that?
We're going to advise kids how to come out of the classroom and be safe from gun violence.
Yeah, that would be the next one. But it's just interesting that I don't know. It all feels like it's all by design. Everything in society is by design at this point, Joey. There too many things are happening in order.
When you have too many coincidences, all seem to connect. It's not an accident.
And what I'm getting at is, like, you look at the population collapse around the world, and this is something that directly correlates with that. And that's what I've told people constantly is Can
we talk about population collapse after you make your point? I have an interesting thought about that.
Absolutely. The only point that I'm making is that we should not be encouraging same-sex couples. They do nothing to benefit the species. If you have a same-sex couple, great, awesome, great for you. Except that's an entirely selfish relationship where you're not benefiting society as a whole. You're not making more people with that.
Yeah, like, listen, if you want to have, like, your sexual promiscuity and whatever, but do you, I guess, whatever you know, but you still have to have, like, some sort of procreation, my guy. Like, you know, if you're like, oh, well, we got 3 kids and the kids are all in college, now we're going to bring in, I don't know, whatever. But, like, being straight up gay does nothing, really. And you're relying on other people's kids to adopt. And then that creates a whole bunch of fucking problems. But my point about population collapse is, when I observed the population numbers from the mid 1800s to now, it has exploded at a ridiculous rate. And knowing what I know about the globalists, they certainly like to take advantage of pre-existing crises. So I'm thinking there had to be some population downswing at some point. You know, we went from 1 billion people 130 years ago to now we're like approaching 9 billion people. So I think there has to be some sort of natural downswing. We can't literally just keep going up, 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 and up without having some sort of issue at some point, especially when you see all the wealth that they're taking. So I feel like there is probably going to be some sort of natural downswing. That's just the patterns of life. There's going to be less kids, and then there's going to create some sort of swing upwards when you know, people
there does need to be a correction period. I get what you're saying.
I don't know about see that's what the globalists say. They say there needs to be a correction period, but the correction period will come in itself. But now they're trying to accelerate that correction period.
Well,
that's what they always do.
That's what I'll agree with. They're trying to force the correction. I think the correction will come naturally whether we want it to or not. Right. And I think what you're getting at is the globalists see that there's going to be that correction, and they're trying to force it early.
It's like seeing prophecy, right? It's like what those religious types do when the prophecy. How do we force prophecy? The government observes something that's happening at a grassroots level or naturally, and they try to manipulate that to make it happen sooner. That's what they did with feminism. That's what they did with the sexual revolution. They take these things that are a feeling on a ground level, and they're like, let's push that because we can manipulate it. So that's what they're doing, I believe, with the population collapse. It was certainly going to happen at some point, but now they're like, we could take advantage of it and kind of manipulate.
We could force it to happen and manipulate it in a direction that benefits us.
Yeah, and by doing that, they make whitey, you know. But I think it was something that was naturally going to occur. I mean,
something I want to point out to you though is, I mean, do you believe the population of China is accurate?
No.
By how much do you think it's off? Because like I've looked into that a little bit, and the math just doesn't math, especially when they had the one child policy. Yeah, you can't go from the one child policy to like 3-4 times the population in a matter of like 40 years. That's the math does not math.
Well, listen, just based off how many big cities they have, I would say that, like, what do they claim their population to be? 1.4 billion. I think it's probably in the high 900 millions or perhaps a billion, because China is a big fucking country.
Yeah,
too,
but they
and
also
have
create
a
a
lot
bunch
of
of
concentrated cities.
They create a bunch of ghost towns too, though.
They do. That is true. That's what my the kid I was training. Well, he's fucking adult now. Jesus.
My guess would
he
be
tells me
it's
that
about
there's a lot of
half.
ghost towns.
I would
don't
get
know about half.
I think it's about half of what they actually say.
I-
So
I
if
see,
it's
if you talk-
1.4, I think it's around 700.
If you talk about a population crisis, they're going to have, and maybe I think that's what's manifesting now, and they're trying to prop up their numbers because the past 25 years has probably been a severe population decline because there's not enough women to fuck.
Well, no, literally they don't have enough women. What is it? It's like 3-1 over there, I think.
Yeah, well, that's exactly. So they're definitely going to have some sort of, and that's why they, when you talk about China, that's why I don't see China as the existential threat that a lot of people see them as. If they were going to take Taiwan, bro, they would have done that when Russia marched into Ukraine. That'd have been a perfect opportunity.
Yeah,
for
and they
them
would
to
have
do
did it under Biden because he was incompetent.
I don't think they can do it. I think there's too much civil unrest within them, and that's kind of what my friend has told me. He's told me that they really can't, despite the social credit scores, despite all that stuff, they cannot get a hold on everything going on, and they don't have the resources for it. So a lot of the times, local government officials will just ignore things, and that's causing problems in itself because they don't have the manpower to do anything. It's sort of like what criminals have realized in our big cities. There's not enough cops to stop all this stuff, and now because of the media, there's no aptitude to actually want to stop this stuff. So it's hard for them to even mobilize to do anything.
Yeah.
That's why I don't see China as this magnificent threat. I mean, I'm sure they are in some degree, but like
they're still one of our greatest threats. But I think the threat is people refer to them as a paper tiger, and I don't think they're like maybe not paper, but maybe like cardboard tiger. Like they're not as strong as people make them out to be, but they are absolutely a threat.
I think China has aspirations, and the reason why they're colonizing Africa and stuff is for those types of reasons. They need to have something for when things go awry, and they need to have some sort of backup plan. They're trying to play globalists, but I don't think they're ready for it. But if I could finish my population decline point, since it does kind of relate to China in a way, based off of the magnanimous success of the society we built, where the average person doesn't really need to worry about problems anymore, that in itself was going to cause some sort of downturn, because it was no longer about we must reproduce as much as possible for the survival of our family or for our people. It's now become the focus and priorities of society have switched, because they don't need to be absolutely focused on absolute survival anymore. Hello? It's going to start biting me.
Does he need food?
He doesn't need food, but he probably wants it.
He's looking pretty tubby.
Yeah, I know, right? Look at that belly, bro. Look at that. Look at that belly. Look at that.
A lot of fupa right there.
Hey. All right, you can keep talking. I'm gonna go do something.
All right. Well, I'll just read on here while Joey deals with his kitty cat. So in the video with non-binary tips, a non-binary creator named Lorenzo explains what to do if someone uses incorrect pronouns to describe an individual and how to find the best label that describes you. That's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Teaching kids that you can have pronouns that you pick. Like what did you guys want to be when you were a kid? Like, there was people that wanted to be, like, superheroes and stuff like that. You just start using, like, superhero pronouns. Like, I'm Superman. You call me man and super. Those are my pronouns now. Lorenzo, who has a large following on social media, also explains to students how to bind properly. For those of you that don't know what binding is, that's when a female will wear they're called chest binders, to make their chest look flat, to make it look like they don't have breast, essentially. So teaching 6th graders how to bind, that's disgusting. Referring to a term used to create to describe the process of flattening a female's breast in order to appear less feminine. So it actually says it there. The last slide of the presentation informs students that they can attend meetings for Westland's LGBTQ plus club called SEGA, which stands for Sexuality and Gender Acceptance. There isn't a single justification for this cult-like propaganda being pushed on children at school. Erica Sanzi, Senior Director of Communications for Defending Education, told Fox News Digital. They are presenting a harmful ideology as gospel to other people's children and manipulating language in ways that would almost be funny if it didn't come with so much risk. Many kids will rightly scoff and be unfazed by the absurdity of it all, but others may be vulnerable, potentially set down a path from which they can never fully return. These are 11 and 12-year-olds, and nothing about this is remotely appropriate or defensible. A spokesperson for Montgomery County Public Schools defended the lesson in a statement to Fox News Digital, explaining that it is the responsibility of the district to ensure that every student feels safe, seen, and respected at school. Westland Middle School has used advisory lessons on a range of topics to help students understand differences, treat each other with kindness, and follow school expectations. These materials were communicated in advance, including clear information about opt-out procedures, which were followed. The lessons were about awareness, respect, and how to support peers in a school community that includes students of many backgrounds and lived experiences. Middle school is a time when questions come up, and schools must reinforce that bullying, harassment, and discrimination have no place in our buildings. No, that's not true. Bullying and harassment. Harassment, no. Bullying, I'm fine with bullying. Bullying to some degree is fine because that's how you teach awkward kids that things they do are awkward. Like that's how we weed out some of the awkwardness in children.
It's also how you fortify standing up for yourself.
That too. It builds it builds a resilience to the world, because the world is not fair. The world is not nice to you, and dealing with a kid making fun of you at school might toughen you up for that a little bit, at least a little bit, depending on how far the bullying goes.
You know what? One of the big problems we have in this world is people have tried to come up with ways to interfere with the natural course of how we should be, and put outside stimuli into it, and just completely disrupt what our natural rhythm is, and it's completely caused so many issues in society. We just try to tell people that, like, you can't react like this. We're civilized people. It's like, dude, we have not caught up to the rate of technological increases. We have not caught up to the rate of the level of comfort that we have. People's brains are still a certain way, and that will, like I said, it will change naturally as we interact with the world around us. But they keep trying to force this change. They want to accelerate it. Oh, what are they, accelerationists?
I don't know. I feel like some days you and I are accelerationists at this point, Joey.
Yeah.
Accelerationist in a different matter, though. The accelerationists in the collapse of this country at this point, because that's the only way we're going to fix things.
The girl used to harass me in the locker room in junior high turned out to be a lesbian. I now understand her fixation with my boobs. That's funny.
Well, that happens, but she
maybe her teacher told her that she should be okay with it.
But she didn't need some non-binary person to come in and tell her how to express herself.
Right. Like, and see, that's also some of the misnomer that from the right, is they act like the some of this behavior only exists because the left forces it on people as like a youth. And it's like, no. Some of it does happen, and it's like I said, they interfere. I think that sometimes the right gives not just the right. I'm just using those generic terms, but sometimes they give them too much credit, in the sense that, like, they don't usually create anything. They just hijack things because they're incapable of original thought. If they were capable of original thought, then maybe they wouldn't be so lame and boring. Right.
And to your point, Joey, I have a stepsister who's a lesbian, and I think we all knew that was going to happen. Like, we from the time that we've known her, it's my stepsister, so I haven't known her whole life, but from the moment we knew her, we were basically like, yeah, she's gonna be a lesbian, and like we didn't. No one had to push her in that direction. It was just already it was already there. Like, school didn't push her in that direction. No one around her pushed her in that direction. It was natural. It was a natural thing that happened.
It does happen, though. Like, it does happen, and this is a lot of the word manipulation. And this is what ultimately hurts the right, is like, there are these things that actually does happen, and because the left has taken advantage of it so badly, they do this thing where, like, it wouldn't exist without the left pushing it. It's like, no. There are some questions to these things that we need to learn to deal with. It's just, yes, I think most, like the gays against groomers, are probably in agreement that we don't need to be pushing this lifestyle on people. It's just there needs to be some sort of something for people who just happen to be like this.
There should be a tolerance and an acceptance for it, but it does not need to be pushed and forced onto people.
Like, I can't help that I'm attracted to Latina women with ridiculous hip to waist ratios. What am I supposed to do about that?
You're
just not be attracted to them?
Yeah, you're supposed to go date twig Asian women instead.
Yes, I should date women who are shaped like the letter H. That's it.
There you go. Or capital letter A. That's who you should date, Joey. Walking around like a triangle. But anyway, we'll move things along to the last story. This last story is literally about a meme. Do you want to guess what meme it's about, Joey?
Meme.
This is a meme story.
Is it like a recent sort of meme? Dude, get out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
The hint that you get is that it's a recent meme. So the hint that you get is that it's a recent meme that literally has no meaning. It's just nonsense, and people keep saying it.
Oh,
anyway.
6'7"?
Yeah. So
Franklin the Turtle. That'd have been a good one.
Franklin the Turtle. That would be a funny meme. That has been a funny one. I've seen a lot of people posting about that. But no, today we are talking about In-N-Out Burger and the 6'7" meme, because In-N-Out, the burger chain, has now removed the number 6'7" from its ordering system to keep away annoying pranksters after the viral 6'7" meme. Apparently, younger kids, high school aged kids, were going into In-N-Out Burger, and they would purposefully wait until someone called for the order 6'7".
Holy shit.
And,
it's crazy.
I just thought it was funny because, like, I thought this meme was gonna die way quicker than it has lasted. And I mean, you even have people at my new job. They're a little bit younger, but still, I work with people that are like fresh out of high school, and they still walk around. They make that 6'7" meme.
The meme has taken on a life of its own now. So now the meme is the meme. It's not the meme origination is not the meme anymore. It's the memeing of the meme.
Yeah, it's the memeing of the meme, because the number comes from a few different sources. There was a rapper that had a song with 6'7" in it.
About LaMelo Ball,
yeah, and you know that is technically the origins of it, but it, like Joey said, it's taken on a life of its own. People are memeing the meme, and honestly, those are sometimes the best memes, though. Like, like 6'7", I don't really find it funny. What I find funny about it is like how people react to it.
Yes.
Like,
that's the funny part.
The funny part is how people react to it. It's not even it being said or like the meme itself. So I don't know but it's just hilarious that you have corporations now having to take action to prevent people from taking part in the meme.
Date women shaped like the letter Q. How does that even look?
Whoa! Isn't that just a fat trans woman?
That I'm literally about to say that.
Like that. Anyway, I think we don't have to explain that one. If you don't get it, you don't get it. So In-N-Out.
How many guys have you been with? About 6 or 7? Joey, how big's your roster? About 6 or 7?
Oh no. How many people do you think are watching right now? How about 6 or 7?
About 6 or 7 times 3.
Anyway,
maybe 4. Haven't checked.
It might be 8, 9. Who knows?
3, 6, 9. Damn, she fine. Ooh, let me hit it one more time.
That's a new addition to the meme. I don't know if you've seen that, but apparently people have taken to responding to the 6'7" meme with 8, 9.
God, we're really scraping the bottom of the fucking barrel, man. Holy shit.
I know. You remember when memes used to be gold, like these nuts?
These nuts. Or Bad Luck Brian.
What's that one?
See? That was like 2012 meme or some shit.
Date women that make Sir Mix-a-Lot go, damn.
I bet me so. Anyway, moving on.
In-N-Out Burger has axed the number 67 from its ordering system after the viral 67 meme wreaked havoc on its stores, according to reports. The West Coast burger chain retired the double-digit numeral from its order after eager internet-brained adolescents regularly waited for the number to be called. An employee at a Los Angeles location confirmed to the People.
Brain adolescence.
That's amazing. It's amazing terminology. A video circulating on social media also showed an In-N-Out employee informing a customer that the fast food restaurant removed the order number to keep pranksters at bay. Quote, "We have taken 67 out of our system, so whenever we're taking orders, it goes 66 straight to 68. The worker explained, because of people like you." Damn, because of people like you. Yeah, imagine you're sitting there waiting, and then they call the number 66, and you're like, "All right, guys, it's coming up, get ready to start screaming." And then it goes 66, 68. Wait a minute.
69.
Yeah, and then you do the 69 meme.
Hey, we're 67. It's not here because of people like you.
Yeah, but I guarantee you they still have 69 and 21.
21.
In-N-Out did not immediately respond to the post request for comment. The viral slang term comes from the song Doot Doot 67 by rapper Skrilla, which features the endlessly repeated lyric 67. It is also associated with NBA star LaMelo Ball's 6'7" frame, but it is mostly used by youngsters to taunt adults who don't seem to understand the phrase.
That's really what it's become.
Literally.
Now it's just a way to taunt the adults.
Well, I mean, look, you even read on here, even New York Post points out, the 6'7" meme has also been immortalized as Dictionary.com's 2025 Word of the Year. Oh, no. Citing its unexpected trendiness on social media and place in school-age children's lexicon. Despite the accolade, the phrase has no real meaning.
I mean, it is something that can be like set up, or what, like if so, like the way South Park did it, like, oh, I don't know, about 6 or 7 minutes, and you go, oh my God, like it has the ability to be set up for things, but it's just like, what is the meaning though? It doesn't really mean
no
anything.
meaning. It's literally just getting people to say 6, 7, or like pointing out there's 6 and 7 things. I know some dude. Everything's demonic, don't you know, Joey? At the start of this, people were trying to say that the 6, 7 has some like ties to demonic like rituals and stuff like that. And that is where South Park got the joke, because South Park made fun of it and was like, Cartman's possessed. It's because people legitimately, just like with the fucking stupid Labubu's, people were like, oh, it's demonic. Like, oh yeah, things I don't like are demonic. Sorry.
Yeah, see that this is an issue the right has. Anything that they don't like is demonic or bad. Like, you know, oh, that weed smoke is demonic. It makes you have weed brain. And I'm like, you guys, they got to stop that shit, man. They really got to stop that shit. They'll talk about how the government can't interfere with my ability to live my life, and then, well, fuck, son of a bitch, here you go. They're doing the same thing by calling things demonic. Oh, they're not controlling language, though. We don't do that. That's what the left does.
No, but teachers can control language. I mean, look at this. Some teachers have even had to ban the phrase from their classrooms after their kids have relentlessly chanted 6, 7, 6, 7.
They've removed 6 times 7 from the multiplication board.
Right. You can't do 6 times 7 anymore. The teacher, when they're writing up homework, they have to make sure none of the answers equal 67. Like,
Jesus Christ. It's a good thing it's a prime number.
Are there any trends or memes from the 90s and the 2000s era that were there just to annoy adults?
I'm sure, but the genesis of them probably had some sort of like meaning.
I see. I'm just not sure about that, because there's been so many memes that like there's not any actual meaning to it, and usually it's in the modern era it's usually tied to like a video, and then it spirals from there. So in the like 90s and the 2000s, I think memes were brought about in a different way.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, the best comparison I can make would be slang terms. Like every time there's like slang terms, the previous generation be like, my God, what is this? You know?
Actually, I think that's a perfect example, because there's a lot of memes that become slang, like 6, 7. 6, 7's kind of like a slang term right now. And Joey's pointing out, what Joey's pointing out is exactly that. There was people back in the 90s and even before then that would adopt certain slang terms that the past generations didn't typically use.
Yeah, but you could at least where they get the genesis where it comes from. You know,
Yeah, 6-7.
candy paint dripping off the lane. I mean, that just means you have,
Yeah.
a certain type of like coloring on your car.
But I took this opportunity to obviously talk about the meme 6-7, and also because I want to have that in my tags, because haha, I'm a grifter.
Grifter Today news.
I grift about 6 to 7 days a week.
How many days do you grift? About 6 or 7. How many times are you going to grift talk about Candace Owen? About 6 or 7?
6 or 7 months at this point. Fuck, dude.
Holy shit.
But anyway, yeah, that's about it. You have any final thoughts on the 6-7 meme, Joey?
I'm only going to do it about 6 or 7 more times.
Yeah.
Joey,
Joey, when's your show? About 6 or 7 hours from now?
Actually, about 60 or 70 minutes. I decided I'm going to do Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Fuck it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know.
Oh wait, see what Joey did to me, guys? He cut me out. He cut me out of Thursdays. You see that?
Well, you could come on Tuesday. I mean, whenever you have time, your work schedule is going to change things anyway.
True. I mean, I could join today. We'll DM about it because I have some other things that I might need to do. But anyway,
you don't have to join today. You could save it for another time. Like Sean might not be able to do Mondays anymore because of his new work schedule. So
he got a job too.
Assuming he gets the job. But if he gets the job, then my series on central banking with him is going to have to be like twice a month on the weekends or some shit.
Well,
DP for my bank.
6-7 is just retardation. It is, but it's also like I don't know. You don't understand them youngins, I guess, because it's just how it is.
What older people should do is they should do the meme themselves, so it's not cool anymore.
Well, no, so that's what I was talking about earlier. Is like this is actually a part of the older generation. Apparently, adults are now responding to 6-7 with 8-9.
Oh well, that just makes them look lame now.
Well, and that's look, adults haven't figured it out. South Park taught us this. Adults just haven't figured it out. If you want your kids to stop doing something, you start doing it because then it's not cool.
Mm-hmm. Just like the Chin Pokemon. Oh, Chin Pokemon.
Oh, I love the Chin Pokemon. Yeah. No, exactly. That's exactly what I'm referencing. So if parents don't want their kids to do it, then they need to start doing it themselves. Like the only way to stop your kid from doing the 6-7 meme is to take part in the 6-7 meme and make it uncool.
Yep. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Here, I want to pull up. We're getting to the end of the show here, so I want to pull up this thing that Misa made. Let's see, link. Oh man. Oh, there we go. Okay, so here we have the graphic for the viral thing that Joey and I came up with. This is gonna be the merch that we sell at some point. Clip it, post it, and then share it as crossed out. It says grift it. That's perfect.
It's perfect.
Guys, get your hats, get your t-shirts now.
What you need to do, Misa, though, is you need to put like the Tyler edition of the shirt with the graffiti being yellow and his colors.
Yeah.
Since the green and purple is like my colors, you need to have one that's yellow and black or whatever.
Misa works for you though. She doesn't work for me.
I know, but it's a shared idea that we came up with.
True. I like the coloring for it though, and I do like your graffiti stuff. It's funny.
Clip it, post it, grift it.
I love that so much. But anyway, let's get out of here. I went longer today because I usually go longer when I have a guest, so there's no biggie there. But Joey, you have anything you would like to say? Anything you would like to share?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get. I think we're gonna attempt to get. You rated out to him yesterday, Alistar, and try to get him and Ashelon on later. I want to try to get ABD and Real Tombi on tomorrow for Nightcap. That should be fun. Have you downloaded Tombi's Google store extensions? They're very, very cool.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay. I'll figure out how to be a human being to you later or something.
Box said he said I'm gonna need that shirt.
Well, maybe after the holiday, or I don't think it's possible for me to figure out how to do anything before the holidays, but maybe we could. It's all I put Misa in charge of that because I like to delegate responsibilities, just like our leaders.
You know, I've got a decent paying job now, so I'm definitely gonna be upping production in the next year, or production quality, I should say. But the show, as you guys have noticed, I'm not gonna be able to do it as consistently. But when I do the show, I want to make sure that it's the best that it can be. I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys good stories. We're having good conversations, like today with Joey. Great conversations today, Joey Cannoli.
Yeah, we didn't even get that far off track.
No, we didn't. I feel like we stayed on topic today. Because like we pointed out during these stories, like everything kind of like when you stand back and you look at everything, you realize that everything ties into each other in some way or another. And it just makes you wonder who's orchestrating it all.
The Jews.
Obviously,
I mean,
it's the Jews, but
Das Judah.
Das Juden. Actually, Joey, hot take. I think it's the Muslims. The Muslims have been playing us all along.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, I mean, look, you can see how they're taking over the Dearborn, Michigan. But anyway.
Yeah, that's because the masters allow them to do so.
But anyway,
they're the broom of Judaism.
Where can people find you, Joey Cannoli?
Joey Cannoli. Whoa, amazing. Just don't put a space between it. Or you can just type it in. It probably comes up anyway.
Do you not have both, like, just in case people type it differently?
I don't know, bro. It didn't let me type it with the space in between. So they're like, you must have it together. And I'm like, okay, I guess. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But Allie and Jessica will be on in about an hour. Until then, I'll just dick around and fall out, I guess.
Alrighty. Well, I will be in the audience if I'm not on the show with you guys.
Okay. Goodbye.
All right. Later, Joey. And that was Joey Cannoli, guys. That was the one, the only, the Cannoli. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Yeah, I'll try to be as active as I can. Let's look at my schedule for this week. So for those of you that are here, I'll let you know what days I'm streaming. I believe I work Friday, but I work later in the day, so we'll still have a show Friday. I work tomorrow in the morning, so no show tomorrow, but come back Thursday and Friday for the show. We'll be here. I don't think I'll be able to do after hours, or if I do after hours on Friday, it'll be later than normal when I get home. So we'll see, because I do have some memes that I've piled up. And then I do work Saturday, but I don't normally do a show on Saturday. And then we'll probably do some premium stuff this Sunday if I'm not doing anything else. So, yeah, that was the show today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see all of you guys, not tomorrow, but Thursday. And I may stream some video games later today as well. So I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. And I will get out of your hair while I go find someone to raid out to. What song should we play? I think I want to play Burn the Flags today. All right. Have a good night. Have a good day, guys. I almost said good night. Have a good day. Later.
Yeah, streets hum loud with a broken beat. Yeah, whispers crawl where the liars meet. Yeah, the truth's a shadow hiding in plain sight. They sell us mirrors, but no one's right.
Who holds the pen that rewrites the lines? Who builds the walls and calls them divine? Burn the flags, burn the flags. They don't care what you have. Raise your voice or take your stand. The power's yours, don't let it pass.
Marching forward, but stuck in reverse. Echoes scream, but they don't rehearse. Fingers point, but the mirrors crack. Both sides cheat while the people laugh.